needs you to do. Either flee the area, stop, do whatever. Do not be threatening. Keep your hands visible at all times. Keep your hands empty, bags, jackets, those type of things. Avoid quick movements. So that's how police are going to respond. It's going to be easy for me to say remain calm. It's going to be very difficult to do that in that situation. The primary function of the officers from 1995 to 2003, I was a training officer. We taught a thing that we called ICE, isolate, contain, and eliminate. So we're going to do our best to keep that assailant away from any other people. We're going to contain that person to the smallest geographic area as possible. Then we're going to eliminate the threat. However that might look like. It might be a negotiated agreement, might be an assault, might be a sniper, whatever it may take to end that situation. Secondarily, immediately following or during the ICE function is tending to the injured and try to get those individuals immediately transported to a hospital or to care. Most likely they're going to be taken out and taken to a field hospital that was set up and get going. If you're ambulatory, you're going to walk yourself out and get all the injured to a designated area. There was a few questions that was given to me, and I'll answer those, and then I'll answer any other questions that you may have. One of the questions is, what do your officers go through in respect to shooter at school? What type of training? So we do tabletop exercises. We do full scenario tactical training each year. We've been in Hinsdale South High School, Our Lady of Peace. Some other buildings have been donated to us for use. And so we go through full scenario training, obviously firearms training, defensive tactics training, use of force training, breaching techniques, how to get into buildings, combat and medic training, and rescue task force training, to name a few. One other question was, are school officials involved in the training? And that's a yes. We're mandated to do one on-site drill each year at each school, and we do those annually. Depending on how elaborate or detailed training differs, so sometimes it might be a tabletop, and other times it might be the full-blown training. The question was, I assume the officers, county, and state would respond to this active assailant call. Yes and no. There is a mutual aid agreement that most officers would come from surrounding agencies versus the state police. It's a situation that has to be done quickly, and the program's called ALEAS, Illinois Law Enforcement Alarm System. Each ALEAS level is 5 officers. An example in Aurora, when they had their shooting, they called an ALEAS 30, which means 150 officers were requested in that situation. The logical follow-up question is, how do you coordinate all those resources? And that's the Unified Command's job to do that. In training, for the most part, all the officers are trained similarly. We're in a good location because we all have common radio channels. One of the biggest things that is problematic during any kind of situation is communications, but we have great communications because we have good radio communications. Like I said, we have common tactics so that people know that are responding to the scene know how to respond to the scene and what we're going to do when we might call any number of tactics. Bounding overwatch, slice of pie, clearing rooms, all those different types of things. People understand what that means when you're working together. So we do train together at times, depending on the nature and scale of the call or training. The question is, if your officers, county and state, all arrived at the school call, who leads that combined response. The local jurisdiction has control. Typically, that would be the first officer on the scene, who would relinquish incident command to the supervisor, who in turn would relinquish incident command, unifying command, to the deputy chief or myself, and we would run that entire operation. The question was, are your officers trained to go immediately into the school? And that is correct. Like I said, from 95 to 2003, I did the training. In 1999, immediately following Columbine, I think it was in April. By May, we were up and running and teaching a whole different procedure and mindset. And Darien, one of the first things I looked at when we got here is how they responded, and they respond in the same, for the most part, using the same policy, same procedures, and the same training. So any questions, other further, I'll definitely do my best to answer those.
Thank you for answering all my questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg.
Thank you.
Let's hope we don't have to deal with one of those
Yeah.
situations.
Perfect.
Mr. Gondak.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Again, good evening, City Council and our viewing residents at home. This is some very important information we have coming up for our residents at home. But prior to that, in respect to your comments about dolomite and the state rock, dolomite is also used in asphalt. So it's one of the primary stones within leveling binder, what they refer to as. So just some additional information. Anyway, my purpose here is for the meter kickoff program this evening. We're starting the meter program, and the meter program includes approximately 9,000 meters, or all of Darien, that the city will be replacing. The technology is referred to as automated meter reading. It's similar to NICOR as well as ComEd, electronic. One of the major benefits of this is accurate readings and the opportunity to define leaks. For example, a toilet leak, which are very, very consuming as water goes. Obviously, as the more water you use, the more you pay. But this is one of the main features, which will be able to have alarms, and those alarms could be set by DuPage County, who is our partner in billing, and when these alarms would come in, they would notify us. Also, we're going to also have opportunities to have a computer, I'll call it a computer for database, to be able to trigger these alarms as well. The program itself involves DuPage County. We've partnered up with DuPage County on this program, and that includes the meter purchasing through separate contracts, and as well as the operation of how these meters are going to be removed and replaced. It will be an outside company, and this outside company is vetted. So prior to me be up here and keep on speaking, I'd like to show a short video for our meter kickoff program, and this video will be running throughout the next several months, probably 6 months for sure. So be patient with me one moment, because I'm not an AV guy. It's about a 3-hour movie, so.
Bring
Top
popcorn,
Gun?
I hope.
Top Gun.
Here we go, Tom Cruise. This is our new Tom Cruise here. So keep that in mind.
The City of Darien has partnered with DuPage County and is starting the program to change out residential water meters. The first steps will be notify each resident of the meter exchange program. You will receive a letter to schedule your appointment for your meter. The main purpose for this water meter change-out program is to have accurate meters, because as the meters age, they become less accurate. More accurate readings are important for more precise billing. Calumet City Plumbing has been hired by the city and county for the installations. They will need entry to your home in order to access the water meters. Therefore, if you have any obstructions near the meter, please remove them prior to your appointment. On the day of your appointment, a Calumet City plumber will show up in a CCP company service vehicle and uniform. They will have a DuPage County and CCP ID card for safety. It will take approximately 15 to 30 minutes for the plumber to change out the meter in each resident's home. The city of Darien has roughly 9,000 meters that will be changed out in this meter exchange program. The city appreciates your preparation and participation.
Not as exciting as Top Gun, but anyway, more information's going to be coming out with these postcards. The postcards, people will start receiving them within a couple weeks. The postcards will be coming from Calumet City, actually Emmy Simpson, who is the database manager for the plumbing company, Calumet City. All the information on there will be how to schedule, and the opportunities will be telephone and or online. The way it's going to be done is the way the meter routes work from DuPage County is how the routes are going to be established. So maybe the western quadrant first. The program itself will take approximately a year to complete. So while you're getting these postcards, it doesn't mean that within the next 2 months or even 6 months that your meter's going to be up for replacement. It's a rolling program. So we need all the cooperation that we can get from residents to help make this program successful. For any additional information, you can call Regina. She's my assistant, 630-353-8105. She's going to love me on that phone number there. And we also have additional information on the website, which will include this video as well as further FAQs in regards to what happens to the meters or how they work and so on and so forth. So we encourage residents to please take a look at the website for the additional information, and any other questions, please feel free to give us a call. Be more than happy to answer any specific questions.
Anything?
Dan, will this involve replacing the meters of the unincorporated areas that are on the Darien system as well?
Actually, yes. There's a total of approximately 11,500 meters in total. Of those, 9,000 are the cities and 2,500 are the unincorporated areas. There are water customers, while they're not our residents, water customers, yes. Yes.
We had talked about this before. Is there a way of getting, though, is a phone app so people can monitor their water usage? For example, if I'm out of town and I want to make sure that the house is secure, there's no water leaks, I can go on the phone app and check?
The answer is yes. That app is a separate app,
Okay,
and that app has not been programmed yet, number one.
Okay.
Nor have we paid a subscription for it.
okay.
There will be a subscription cost for that application. Our goal was to see how many residents would be interested in
Yeah.
that. And then taking that feedback and providing a cost to it, because it's one or all.
Yeah.
So there's not, again, so we're going to probably reach out to NICOR and ComEd for some additional feedback in respect to that to see how many hits, if you want to say,
Do we
that
have
people
any
are.
idea how much that would cost, or
I want to say it was close to $1,000 a year.
for everybody?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
yes.
How much, Dan?
1,000,
1,000.
approximately 1,000.
I think people would love that app. I know some people that had a flooding issue when they were out of town and the refrigerator line broke.
See, and at the same time, to your point, we're going to have alarms set up with residents that if more than 10%, if you have a period of more than 10% or whatever the number is, then an alarm will go off and the contact information, and that's something that's so important, is that residents need to provide us with the contact information. And it's more property owner information, not tenant information, because obviously when tenants come and go, the information gets
You may want
lost.
to set your usage different when you're out of town versus when, you're home.
Correct.
That kind of thing, so.
And the lower the usage is fine. It's the above the norm
Right.
that there's always a problem.
But the trouble is your norm could be when you're home, and which could be very high when you're out of town.
Sure.
So you would want, you know what I mean?
I understand. There's different parameters of how
Right.
you could set it, and I don't have all the information as
Okay.
far as
But, yeah,
what you could set it to. But
I
yes,
think it would be a very popular
Sure.
app for people to have.
No, it's already been tracked on a list for opportunities.
Okay.
Dan, I'm sorry, Eric's question made me think, do you recommend that when people are out of town, maybe a vacation for a week, that they actually shut their water off in the house?
Shut
I
the
mean,
wa-
going one step further, that's
Yeah.
probably a good thing to do.
Correct. Shut the water off, and we try to reiterate that every winter. At the same time, they can't turn the heat off. The heat should be maintained at 50 degrees per se. This way, the water gets to a temperature of approximately 34 degrees in some cases. So with no heat in the house, it could freeze rather quickly, and it doesn't take much for the copper pipes to burst or the meter to burst. And then we all know what happens after that.
And just a couple more things. Anybody following the budgets they looked and they've seen this project in our budget for a couple of years. That was COVID. Why we're starting now was because of COVID. We weren't going to people's houses, so just as a tidbit, we're not behind. We're probably on a really good schedule now, given that.
Correct. That was the main goal, and we looked for opportunities, with the vendors. And again, from the past, this program itself, there's been a lot of vetting, a lot of research. Basically, almost 3 years that we were in the progress of making this happen, including, the joint co-op with DuPage County, as well as a couple other municipalities that are also in the program. So really, it was a beneficial program. I wish we could have gotten more municipalities. Unfortunately, we couldn't.
Actually, this was a great example of your work at developing an intragovernmental program.
Yes.
And my wish was you would have got more recognition for it, because I know it's involved a lot.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
So many thanks to you for all your work on this.
How's it going to get communicated now to residents?
Within the next couple weeks, postcards will be going out. On those
Okay.
postcards will be 2 pieces of information.
Okay.
The first one will be about the meter program itself,
Okay.
and then the gist is basically what the video has just encapsulated.
It's going to indicate it's going to be this Calumet City plumbing,
Correct.
right?
All
Because
the-
I know people right now are really fearful
Sure.
of people coming to their door and looking to get access into their home.
That sure is information. All Calumet City plumbers have been vetted. What does vetted mean? Background checks, and I'm sorry, is it criminal? What are the 2 basic, criminal and background checks? Through DuPage County. DuPage County has a system of a third-party vendor that basically does all this research. DuPage County has vetted them.
Okay.
We're not going to vet them separately. Just there's no reason to have an additional expense first and foremost.
So they'll be told to look for this ID card.
They'll have the ID cards.
and
They'll
they
also
should be
have,
driving a Calumet City truck.
correct, they'll be all uniformed.
Okay.
The vehicles themselves will be Calumet City plumbing vehicles. The label will be on there, just as you saw in the video. And,
Otherwise, you're going to get a lot of 911 calls.
right.
People showing up, not knowing who they are.
And again, we encourage people to call 911 because they're going to be out there. They're going to have all the equipment,
Yeah.
the proper identification. And a lot of these questions are going to be on the website under the FAQs as well.
Dan, in addition, we're obviously hitting it very hard in Direct Connect and, getting all that information out, probably almost weekly till you get started and then some.
Just go on the cable channel.
Yes.
The video. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, this is really the first presentation, and we're referring to it as the meter kickoff program.
Will
You know,
people
on-
know at all when their area is going to be done? So they'll know what, like for Farmingdale Village is going to be done July, in middle of July, or that type of thing?
Don't have the exact routes yet. My goal is once we've determined the routes, because they're going to be commingling with several different aldermen, if you want to say, or overlapping. Once we have the identification, my goal is to reach out to, whether it's yourself, Alderman Sullivan, and say, hey, this is your area for targeting now. So we'll keep everybody abreast. We'll also provide a, not sure if it's going to be monthly yet, just a monthly report on how the program's going and how many meters have been changed out. This is a big program.
I know you have like the fire hydrant flushing signs that are up.
Correct.
Would it make sense to put those kind of signs up that water meter replacement that's going to happen?
In my opinion, I would not, I don't want to promote something that gives an opportunity
For-
to somebody else.
Got it.
And Greg, maybe you
Okay.
could chime in on that too. You know, I just couldn't see putting up those types of.
Okay.
And I think based on what Dan's talking about, that people are going to see somebody new come into their place, and we've been hammering scams for a long period of time, and hopefully they do stop them and check their ID and look out the window to make sure that placard's on the car and those type of things.
Okay.
And if not, call 911.
Yeah, so promoting additional signs, I would not encourage that. And,
Thank you.
So, and on this postcard, we're also going to be we have to provide the consumer confidence report. It'll be on that postcard too. So all the information, it's a real important piece of information that we have coming out. And again, look out for it within the next 2 weeks. All the residents will be receiving that.
And Dan, that's at the printers now, but we could send it out to the council tomorrow even, so they can see what is coming in case they
Correct.
had any questions.
Yes.
The only thing, Dan, if you mentioned it, I'm sorry, but this is a required. If you're on our water system, the meter change out to the AMR is required.
It is required. If there is anyone that wants an opt-out for whatever reason, and I shouldn't say whatever reasons, basically the reasoning would be due to the AMR technology, privacy, so on and so forth. We've checked all that. We've looked into all that. There's been no reports of anything that could be negative. Again, that's also on the FAQ. But if people want to opt out, we still have to replace the meter. We will just not have automated meter reading on that particular account, and there will be a charge for it. There'll be an additional charge, meaning that a water meter reader has to come out and physically get that reading.
Anything else for Dan?
If, for people who've already had their mechanical meters replaced in the last 5 to 10 years, I think I don't know when we started doing it, but are they going to be part of this as well, or are they already, are the meters that they have and that we've replaced in the last few years going to be comparable with what
They'll
we're
be
doing?
part of the program, but they'll be limited, and I didn't want them. And to answer your specific question, we've decided that the cutoff date will be 2016. There may have been residents that received newer meters prior to 2016, and it's really just a handful. Since 2016, we've been planning for the technology with the meter itself. The meter itself is referred to an iPearl and has the ability to incorporate the AMR technology. So residents that have had their meters replaced and after 2016, there's approximately probably 1,000 of them out there, those meters, we do not have to get into the house. We will basically be putting a new remote on the outside that has the opportunity to read that meter and back through the actual system.
We did about 1,000, about 2 or 3 years ago, didn't we, Dan?
Since 2016, it's probably about at least 1,100.
Because I was one of those
Yes,
people who got one of these meters, but what you're saying is they'll just go outside my house and put the device that's going to be able to read the meter.
correct.
They won't be coming in, okay.
Right, when you're going to call and make that appointment, they're going to know which type of meter you have, and they're going to say, oh, you know what, we don't have to get into your home. We just need to be outside. We'll do it, whatever the date is. So really, you don't even have to be there because all the locations of the remotes are going to be recorded in a database where they're exactly located at.
My concern always is senior citizens who don't have, they're going to get a postcard, but they don't often have the technology or follow. When we did the change out between waste management and LRS, we really made a concentrated effort on senior citizens. And I think we did a good job. We got about 1,200 of them that actually came into City Hall and applied. Do we have any program, anything we could do to assist senior citizens who, by the way, probably would be more doubtful about people coming into their house?
There's a couple things. There's a redundancy program on the notifications. So first time you get a postcard, second time you get a letter, third time you're gonna get another letter, fourth time you're gonna get your, water terminated. With that said, when seniors call us and they have that fear, we'll see what opportunities there are for our employees, either to change the meter or to assist them with anything they may need. So yeah, we're very sensitive to that. That's why we have two portals of communication for setting up appointments via telephone and or the internet.
Dan, you said they would get letters. I think you mean door hangers or are
Letters,
actual letters? And will there be no door hangers for this program?
no,
Okay.
no.
Okay. Anything else for Dan? Thanks, Dan.
Thank you.
Tell Christopher he did a nice job.
He's a movie star now.
All right. That takes us to the treasurer's report. We have two warrants tonight. Mike?
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, this evening, I'm requesting council's approval of warrant number 212227 in the amount of $47,919.61 from the listed funds.
Motion to approve. Alderwoman Sullivan, second by Alderman Belzak. Any questions or comments? I know we didn't have a chance to look at this in a work session tonight. Okay, if none, the roll.
Sullivan.
Aye.
Belzak.
Aye.
Gustafson.
Aye.
Shower.
Aye.
Vaughn.
Aye.
Marquez.
Warrant's been approved. We have a second one, Mike?
Okay, warrant number 222303, requesting council's approval of $899,250.35 from the listed funds, as well as payroll for the periods ended May 19th of 2022 and June 2nd of 2022 in the amount of $531,684.74 for a total to be approved of $1,430,935.09.
Motion to approve. Alderman Shower, seconded by Alderman Vaughn. Again, any questions or comments? If none, the roll.
Shower.
Aye.
Vaughn.
Aye.
Belzak.
Aye.
Gustafson.
Aye.
Sullivan.
Aye.
The warrant's been approved, Mike. I know we didn't have a work session again. Do you have anything you wanted to add?
Nothing this evening.
Okay, thank you. Standing committee reports. Any of the aldermen have any reports for the council? Alderman Belzak.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The next Municipal Services Committee meeting will be on Monday, June 27 at 6 p.m. in council chambers.
Thank you. Alderwoman Sullivan.
The economic development meeting that should have been last week was rescheduled to Thursday, June 23rd. And Administrative Finance Committee was canceled tonight due to lack of agenda items. And the next one will be in July, I presume, but I'm not sure. Are we having a council meeting the first week in July?
No.
No. Okay, so then it won't be till August.
And Alderman Kennedy's not here, so we don't have a police report. All right, thank you. Takes us to questions and comments, agenda related. Anyone on the council or in the audience have any questions regarding our agenda? If not, we move on to old business. There being none, we move to the consent agenda. Item A, consideration of a motion to approve an ordinance approving a variation from the Darien zoning ordinance, PZC 2022-01, which is for 7521 Lamont Road. Item B, consideration of a motion to approve a resolution authorizing the purchase of one new Secor C200 leak correlator from Eden Brothers LLC in an amount not to exceed $11,238. And item C, consideration of a motion to approve the expenditure of budgeted funds to purchase ammunition from Keesler's Police Supply in an amount of $18,753.60. Motion to approve. Alderman Shower, second by Alderman Belzak, and the roll.
Shower.
Aye.
Belzak.
Aye.
Gustafson.
Aye.
Sullivan.
Aye.
Vaughn.
Aye.
The consent agenda is approved. We move to new business. There being none, we move to questions and comments of a general nature. Anybody have anything for the council, or does anybody in the audience have anything for the council? If not, ask for a motion to adjourn. Alderwoman Sullivan, seconded by Alderman Shower, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.